Hi, I'm Suzanne Goulden. I'm an intentional living consultant, and I blog about simplified living, intentional living, minimalism, just ways to simplify our lives. And this is something I'm really passionate about. It's something that I have obviously brought into my own life, and I'm just sharing ideas with others on what they could possibly do to simplify theirs. Uh, Right now, my theme is intentional relationships, and I today am talking about our relationship that my husband and I have with our grandson, who actually does not live near us. So I just wanted to talk about, kind of how we have a relationship with him, being far away. He was born a year ago, so he's still just a baby. He just had his first birthday, actually, and we were able to go visit him for that, which was really great. We have just absolutely loved watching him grow. He's our first grandchild, and of course, we're super giddy about him. Um, but we do feel very far away. We live in Canada. James and I live just outside of Winnipeg, so that's central Canada. And our grandson and my daughter and her husband, they live on the west coast, which is literally half a country away. And so sometimes it feels like we have, kind of a hard time keeping up that relationship with our grandson, especially he's so little, um, and how do we help him to build relationship with us and so that he remembers who we are, um, being so young. So there's a few things that I do to help us feel like we're closer to Theo. Um, One, I read him stories over video call. Theo loves stories. Ever since he was an infant, he actually seemed to really gravitate to the rhythmic voice of reading, and even though now he's crawling and constantly on the go, we still do this. I read to him. It's we don't have like a set pattern or anything. It just kind of works out to, hey, are you free? Are we free? And can we take a few minutes so I can read to him? And this is something I love reading. I love reading picture books, and it's one of my very favorite things to do. And of course, when we're with him visiting, I, as often as he will allow, now that he's on the move, I'll sit him on my lap and we'll read a story. But this helps him uh, to be familiar with our faces and to hear our voices, Um, I made a commitment to visit every 3 to 4 months for at least the first 3 years. I find there's so much developmental changes, and I this past trip that we went for his birthday, we drove out together. Um, but to make that cost effective, I actually travel standby on airplanes to go and see him. And even though that sounds a little risky, I have not had really too many issues flying standby. It's something that's worked for me. Super cheap way to travel around. So it also makes it possible for me to kind of stick to that commitment of going out to see my daughter and her family, see that little guy grow on a semi-regular basis. Um, I crochet for him, of course, and I try not to go overkill on the crochet stuff that he gets. We've had to put a limit on stuffies and whatnot, which is great. But I find that even though I'm not physically with him when I'm crocheting for him, of course he's on my mind, and I'm curious, is he gonna like it and all this kind of stuff. It kind of makes me feel like I'm closer to him when I'm, making things for him, or we're out looking for his birthday gift or Christmas gift. It kind of makes you feel like you're a little bit closer because he's on your mind so much during that concentrated time. Um, and quite regularly, I spontaneously text my daughter and say, "What's he doing right now?" And I'll get these random photos of whatever's happening in the moment. And I absolutely love those photos because they are so candid. There are times he's grumpy. He has been completely soaked himself with water recently. You never know what he's napping. Sometimes he's been sick, not feeling well. And so you get a taste of kind of all the different things that are happening for him in random moments in his life. And I really appreciate, my daughter's willingness to kind of indulge me with these, hey, send me a picture of what's ever happening right in this moment, and she'll do that. And some of them are so hilarious. Uh, so accepting that we aren't close enough to see him is kind of our reality. We don't have any choice in that right now. But it's important to me that we do what we can and that I feel like I'm, intentionally being his grandparent and that we are doing what we can to be familiar to him. It really means a lot to me. And I really appreciate the fact that we have technology nowadays that allows us to build relationship with him over video. It's really something that I appreciate very much, being able to see him and see him on the move, and for him to be able to respond to us as well. So if you're connecting long distance with a loved one and you have different ways that you are finding successful for you, I would really love to hear your ideas. I'm always looking for kind of new ways on how we can do things to build relationship with him. So feel free to leave me a comment in the messages, or leave me a message in the comments, and I would love to expand my ideas on what we can do to build relationship. But maybe something I've said here will help you to build relationship long distance as well. All right, have a great day, everybody.